So this is our energy network building game. We're asked to build a exhibit about renewable power networks rather than the generation itself. And this is not something you can really do in reality, because building a power network, obviously you couldn't put in an exhibit itself. So we've built a digital interactive, but we wanted it to be still a tactile experience. So we developed this interface, which basically involves tiles, which you put down on a table, which is actually a monitor itself. And the infrared camera at the top here can detect the tiles being put down. You press the button to start, and you're given a map. You can put these tiles on the map, and these represent different kinds of power stations. So that was a solar power plant. This is a wind turbine. In order to give you feedback in a way which doesn't get in the way if you know what you're doing, we've implemented a series of tooltips which gives you hints as to how to make your power network better. So obviously solar panels aren't working underwater, so if you put them onto the land, it gets rid of the tooltip. You're now generating some power. We have hydroelectric power stations, and the tooltip's now telling us we need water to fill the dam. But if you put it in the sea, it doesn't work in the sea. So you need to put it on a river. And it says that maybe it would work better on a steeper piece of river, so we can put it up in the mountains. And then we get lots of power from our hydro plant. We've also got tidal turbines, which work very well in shallow waters. And we have batteries, which will store energy. And once you've built your network, you can press the button and see how well it does. So when you run a test, the weather changes over time, and that alters how much power different forms of generation produce. If there's excess energy, the batteries can store it, and this graph along the bottom shows you how much energy is stored in the batteries. And the very bottom graph shows you how much water is stored in your hydro plants, which means they can release it when they need to generate lots of electricity, and then they don't release it when they're not generating electricity. So we're at the moment generating a bit more power when it's not sunny, and a bit less when it is sunny. So maybe we want some more solar panels to even it out a bit. And we've got a star for both our target renewables, and we've done very well on the build cost. Now we can move on to another map. Now this map is a very sunny map, but with not a lot of rain. So probably solar panels are a good option. If we put those in the deserts, that produces even more power. Tidal power will still work obviously in a desert. Hydro power we might not need. And haven't got many good mountains to produce lots of power with our wind turbines, but they work quite well in the sea as well. So we could try that. So we're getting lots of solar power unless it isn't sunny, when the batteries are covering in the gaps. And so this is basically an optimization exercise. You're trying to work out how to build the most efficient power system to produce it using as much renewables as possible, and building a system which works and meets the targets is quite easy. Getting it to work really well is a bit of a challenge. You've definitely got to do some optimization, and you can work through various different maps which get a little bit harder as you go through, and hopefully you learn something useful. And also that a power system needs to work in multiple kinds of weather, and so you need resilience and a variety of different kinds of renewable power in order to produce a reliable system.